game changer. I'm a risk taker.
Hello everyone, my name is 𝗘𝗄𝗁 𝗪𝗂𝗃 and I'm from 𝗃𝗲 Secondary School, Singapore. You may also know me as participant SG1431 and my team name is PHSS CSAD6. Let me tell you a bit about myself. Since you may or may not know me, I am the sole member of my group. That means I'm the only one and there's no other participants in my group. I have been coding since the age of 5 and you can do the math yourself, how many years that has been. That still doesn't make me that I'm, experienced enough. Thus, I started doing coding as a CCA as well. I joined 𝗃𝗲 Secondary School Robotics Club through DSA last year, and that was 2020. As soon as I joined Robotics CCA, I had to go for a competition. That was RoboCup Grand Prix, but it was cancelled due to COVID-19. Thus, it was known as the 𝗖𝗀𝗁𝗍 Challenge. I participated last year, but it was really stressful. So I participated in it again this year, as I know I had a little more knowledge about what happened last year, so I was a little bit more experienced and I knew what to do this year. I know many coding languages such as Swift, Arduino, EV3 and NXT. Let me give you a brief summary of the preliminary challenge. I participated in the autonomous driving category, which basically means you have to program or code a virtual car to go around the course and do the task given. Some problems were faced. Not some, many actually. Some of them, though, from those many, are that there were lots of parts to choose from and only 24 hours to code the robot. Limitations of speed and sensors were also present. That means we were only given a certain number of sensors, such as color sensor, which is the RGB sensor, a IR sensor for line tracking, ultrasonic sensor for distance, and a gyroscope. I had to use various methods to get my way around the map. Some of them were trial and error and checking through my code carefully. Sometimes, even if you are checking through your code being careful, you may miss out tiny details of the map and your code, which may mess up your chances of passing or even passing through that one checkpoint. Though, my hard work finally paid off. As they say, hard work always bears its fruit, and thus I managed to increase my speed and decrease my timing by a lot, which allowed me to finish my task in the minimal time possible. The analysis of my challenge mission is that we were required to develop appropriate strategies for the virtual autonomous robot and complete all the checkpoints in the shortest time possible. Dividing the task was a key point, as that would allow me to complete them faster. That means not the entire map faster, but it would allow me to do them separately, and that would allow me to do like 2 checkpoints, 2 checkpoints, 3 checkpoints. And then I can compile the code together and it'll be more efficient and easier to complete. So I started off by dividing a map into bite-sized tasks. As you can see in the picture, I divided the challenge activity map into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The first part has 2 checkpoints. The second part has also 2 and third also 2. But the fourth part has 3 checkpoints. So it follows the 2, 2, 3 format. And it allows me to code them easily and more efficiently. So as you can see below is my AI algorithm. That basically means flowchart. I had to program it or build it in such a way that if it doesn't detect a white line or black line using IR sensor, which is L1R1. L1R1 basically means left one and right one. That means the first sensor from the left and the right. It means basically the center. It will check for RGB colors, that means red, green, blue, which means orange color, green color, red color, and blue color. This is from my code for the actual preliminary challenge. So for stopping at a checkpoint, you need to stop for 2.5 seconds or greater in order to detect it. And you should program your robot in such a way that it only moves on from that checkpoint once it lights up or once it counts, variable 1. In this combination, I would say there's one tip that would really save your life. It's called variables. If you don't know how to make variables, were you living under a rock? You should know how to use variables, or you should learn at least. My savior or my hero was last year's participant SG3055, otherwise known as Alicia. She is my senior in my CCA and has been the one guiding me throughout these challenges in school when we did the practice challenges. My implementation is my strategy. As you can see in the mind map below, there were 4 key points I had to use, which was choosing the fastest route, following rules, line tracing, and trial and error. Choosing the fastest route basically means that the map had multiple ways and places you could solve it. But the fastest one, to find the fastest one basically, I had to try out 4 different combinations. And to find the most efficient one, I had to compare the timings in a table form. Fastest route also means that you have to write less code. That doesn't mean I'm lazy. It just means it's easier to understand. I also have to abide by all routes so as to prevent being disqualified. I would never want to do that. Line tracing, variables, checkpoints, and RGB. These are the 3 subtopics in the main. Let me touch more on variables. So when you open up the app for CoSpace and you go to AI, there will be a V on top, a letter V, on the top right corner, second logo from the right. When you touch on it or using your mouse, they will bring you to an interface where you just type in the name of your variable and create and write the initial value. After that, you just have to C code or plug it into the blocks, and it should be easy. Variables also allow you and your robot to keep a track of how many places you have been. For example, I use variables for checkpoints. So it'll show me variable 1, which will be orange 1, orange 2, orange 3. So for example, if I went to orange 1 time, it'll count it as orange 1, variable 1 fulfilled, and it'll do so on and so forth. Trial and error means that there will always be a second chance or second plan. Besides, if your first 2 plan fails, you still have the entire ABCD ahead of you. You should also try variations. That's what I did. And well, let's say it helped a lot. I submitted my best attempt, and guess what? I'm in the finals. That doesn't mean I should gloat. That just means I should work harder so I can make my school proud. Conclusion and further work. Values affect the speed and accuracy of the CoSpace robot. That basically means that if you increase your speed too much, then your angles may vary. Then, when you change the values of your color sensor, it may not detect the specific color you're trying to detect, and it may not stop at the checkpoint. For that, I learned a trick. You should always keep a 10 number gap or give it more of a space. For example, if I put it as 111 is the minimum value, then the maximum value should have a space like 11, 11, 11. Should have a 10 number gap. I will also try to use more X and Y values. That means coordinates and angles to code next time, which will give it more efficiency. And I think I should try using the gyroscope. For further work, I will continue making notes and documenting my journey of robotics and coding in my journal. That will allow me to have more experience and more ideas of future competitions and how they will be like, which allows me to be more prepared. Learning experiences. From this competition, organized by the CoSpace Committee, I get to learn many valuable lessons, such as sportsmanship, perseverance, patience, and that winning is not everything. Sportsmanship, such that if our peers are in need, we should happily extend a hand out to help them, not thinking that they are competitors and that if we help them, we will lose. That is the wrong kind of mindset. Though we should always keep in mind that we should abide by all competition rules and that we should only help them when it's a practice and not in the actual competition, as then it will be counted as cheating. Patience. As without patience, I don't think we will be able to survive this competition, because patience means you have to wait, you may win, it means your robot may succeed to pass the checkpoint successfully, or it may crash into a nearby building or a pole. That means you have to try and try again. That also touches perseverance by not giving up. I have a quote to share, which will help me end off this presentation on a happy note. Everything negative is just pressure challenges, and it is an opportunity for me to rise, which simply means that all these things which help hold you down are just something which will allow you to rise up to the challenge and to be your best. This quote has been said by Kobe Bryant, who has left us last year. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Stay safe.